Why hello. I felt like it was time to have a chat, so here we are. So as some of you know, I am currently in Koh Phangan in Thailand, and the title of the video is not clickbait, it is my current reality. So I kind of felt like for my own process and also for anyone who was interested, it would be interesting to talk about my journey with this. I think when people back home who are doing the regular 9 to 5 look at people who are traveling, they have this really idealized version of what that looks like. And don't get me wrong, it is amazing and I would not take back my lifestyle for anything. I also think it's really important to highlight what the reality of traveling every day looks like, because I think that gets overlooked so much. So I came to Koh Phangan with a few $100s, maybe if that, to my name, and already from before I left to come here, there were so many posts on community pages about how January and February are so busy and there's no accommodation anywhere and it's really hard for anyone to find accommodation. And I was like, Koh Phangan's been calling me for a couple of months. I know I'm meant to go there. I know that regardless of what my circumstances are, I am going to be supported on my journey there in whatever way I need to, and that I will find accommodation. So over the New Year period, I managed to find an Airbnb which was like a reasonable price, and it was a lovely little place. Initially, I had one of my soul sisters, bless her, offer her bungalow to me for the first few days of January. She was going to go back to India earlier than she had expected, so she had 4 days extra where no one was staying there, so she offered it to me. That fell through because the landlord actually ended up leasing the place to another person over those days that my friend was gone. And that was fine, I wasn't attached to it. I knew that the universe was supporting me and that I would find something else. So during that video I filmed where I was stranded in Doha airport for 5 hours, I messaged my soul sister, Letty, who I had a session with maybe a couple weeks before my transit started. She sent me a message that was like, hey, I'm actually doing a retreat in Chiang Mai for the first half of January, so if you'd like to stay at my place, you can. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? And she also offered me her scooter to use while I was there as well. So currently that is who I am staying with, and I am so grateful. Oh, and also another part of this manifestation story is I also have another friend who is currently doing a visa run. She also offered for me to stay at her place for the duration of her time gone if I wanted to. So again, I'm very supported by the universe. In addition to this, so when Letty came back from Chiang Mai from her retreat, obviously I needed to give her back her scooter so she could use it. I went into town to try to find a scooter for myself just for a number of days, and it looked like there weren't any available, and I was fine with that because I'm happy to walk, I'm happy to hitchhike. Town really isn't far away from Letty's place, and people here are so lovely. Like, I can get a ride within 1 or 2 minutes of hitchhiking, and most people are going the same way anyway. After about a day of not having a scooter, Letty mentioned that actually her dad's going to come soon and she has a spare scooter which she needs to get repaired anyway so that he can use it. So I was most welcome to use it after the repairs were done in a few days. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so amazing. Wow. So that's another manifestation story. And then on top of that, so that left a few days in between me not having a scooter and Letty getting her spare scooter back after it being fixed. And I was fine with hitchhiking and walking around, that was totally fine for me. But then her housemate mentioned that she was going to be going to Phuket from today for a few days, and would I like to use her scooter? So I would be having Letty's housemate's scooter for a few days, and then by the time she comes back from her holiday, I would be able to borrow Letty's spare scooter. So again, in the little moments, I'm really, really well supported, and it's really crazy. Last week, I went to a client's house. I had $20 left to my name. It was a donation-based reading, and it went beautifully. At the end, she asked me what amount would feel good for me as a donation, and I just said, you know, I want you to choose something that feels good for you. I don't want you to feel any pressure from my side. And she ended up giving me about 100 Australian dollars, and I was like, can I be honest with you? I've currently got $20 in my wallet right now, and that's all I have, so I'm really, really grateful, and thank you so much. And again, I'm in a situation where I've got $7 in my wallet. I've got about 18 Australian dollars in my bank account, but if I were to withdraw that, most of it would go towards like the conversion fee. It's not really worth doing at the moment. So yeah, and you know, there is a little bit of stress there, and obviously I can't just go into a shop and buy whatever I want without thinking, but I'm pretty trusting. This has really felt like the universe is building my trust muscle, essentially, because Andrea, Simi and I have spoken about it, about how, you know, like old Miku would have been having a panic attack at being down to $2,000 up until not even a couple of months ago, and here I am constantly down to almost zero, and I'm like, no, this is a bit scary, I admit that, but I trust and I know that the money is coming. And so far in Thailand, I've made it 3 weeks where I've just had enough money to get by. And I'm also very, very grateful that Letty is letting me stay with her, and that she's allowed me to borrow her scooter, and you know, those are like the main expenses really. The other component for me right now to work through is that I know now that my soul's purpose is helping people on their spiritual journeys, and right now that looks like giving psychic readings and Reiki sessions. I have been fortunate enough to work with a number of clients in my time here, which is what has saved me from being completely penniless, and I'm so grateful to that, and I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to read for so many people and have had all these messages come through that were also for me. And my journey at the moment is recognizing that for most of us, when we settle for a job that we are not happy with, or when we are pursuing what our dreams are but are having blockages around receiving clients, it's because we inherently don't feel worthy enough to A, be offering whatever it is that we're doing, and also because we don't feel worthy of receiving that money for whatever reason. In the last several months that I have been offering donation-based Reiki sessions and psychic readings, and then transitioning from actually having set prices, I've really shifted a lot of things in terms of my mindset around money and how much I can survive without so much money. With support, I do acknowledge that I have received lots and lots of support, and I'm so grateful. But also I've made a lot of shifts around my ideas around my worthiness in receiving money, and I'm still obviously on that journey, and it's quite up and down sometimes as well, but I can definitely feel that I'm becoming a lot more confident in what I offer to the world, and it's really interesting. And you know, obviously the easy thing for me to do right now would be to go back home to Australia and to be with my parents and slowly work my way back to being in a place where I'm financially safe. But being financially safe doesn't necessarily mean that I'm happy or feeling fulfilled, and I know that for me, fulfillment is going to be from directly helping people on their spiritual journeys. So that's what I'm working through right now. And if I go home now, what I recognize is I'm not going to be happy because it's not what I want to do, it's what I'm doing out of a sense of safety and security. And also by doing that, I still have this blockage around my perceived worthiness in receiving money for doing what feels aligned for me. That doesn't change. So I would rather be in this beautiful island and have $7 in my wallet and really be making the effort to shift things within my consciousness than to be at home safe doing the same old thing. So that's my journey for you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that something within this video resonated for you, and I'm sending you so much love and any healing you might need at this time, and I will talk to you in a jiffy. Bye.